ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pilates with B. I hope that you all had a fantastic weekend and are ready to tackle day 3 of our mobility challenge. Today we are working on shoulder mobility, and you're going to need a towel for this one. And yeah, please take this moment to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's pull up mats and begin. Before we begin, I just want to apologize if the video is a bit darker today, but unfortunately the weather is not playing ball today, and I'm not getting any of that lovely natural light that I normally get. But saying that, I'm sure this is still going to be a fantastic class. And yeah, we're starting in a standing position. Put your towel down, your feet are hip width apart, strong core anchoring that lower back, and we're just going to start by rolling your hand back and forth. Just rolling it around, getting blood flow into that shoulder region. Just rolling it back. Going to get that full motion through the shoulder blade. If you're feeling a little bit stuck, it's a great way just to get the blood flowing, getting that muscle nice and warm. Let's do the other arm. See, this one's a little bit more stiff. And my other one, I don't have great mobility through the shoulder. Great exercise to get the blood flowing, get the arm warm. And I think I've got a great little practice for you guys today. I hope that you really enjoy it. What did you guys get up to over the weekend? I've got a 90-kilometer challenge coming up this weekend. So Sunday, myself and a couple of friends are getting together to run 90 kilometers in 12 hours. Lots of fun up ahead. So I think this mobility is great. Just a warning, while you're doing this rolling, make sure that your shoulders are not hiking up towards you, but you want to keep them nice and down. And just roll back. And let's take it forward. Lovely work, ladies and gentlemen. Shoulders are something that I've had to work on quite extensively during my Pilates practice, just because it's something that I haven't really been very strong. It's not a very strong part of my body. Now you're taking your towel. Try and keep it as far apart as you can, but you can always adjust as we move along. And what you're doing is you're taking it overhead and then dropping it behind you. So something like that. Keeping those shoulder blades pressed together. And bringing it back overhead and forward. If you can't go all the way back, just go as far as you can go. But if you can, it's a lovely exercise to get those joints moving and working mobility into those shoulders. So you're coming all the way down to the bottom if you can. Towel touches your butt. Roll it back. Try not to crane your neck forward. Try and keep everything in alignment. You've still got that strong core holding you up. Strong feet, strong ankles stabilizing you. And bringing it up. And give me 5 more of these, ladies and gentlemen. 5 more. That's 1. Bring it forward. And that's 2. Bring it forward. 3. 2 more, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. It's only Tuesday. And back. Lovely work. Before we take it down to the mat, I want to take you over to the wall to an exercise we have done before. But still just as good. So let me just pick a position here. Here we go. This is better. Here we go. So what I want you to do is you're keeping those shoulder blades up against the wall and you're moving your arms up until you start feeling those shoulder blades moving away from the wall. Then you have gone too far. Goal is obviously to try and get your arms above your head like that without your arms leaving the wall. Very difficult because the wall keeps us in a good posture. So just slide up as much as you can go. back down. Try to tuck it in to your body if you can. Cactus arms, reaching up. You'll know when you've gone a little bit too far or if you've reached your limit. You'll feel your form starting to go, and it's time just to bring them down. Far down as you can get them. Remembering to keep that core nice and sucked in. Tilting the pelvis just a little bit. Keeping you nice and stabilized. Keeping those shoulders not up by your ears, but down the scapula, the shoulder blades, nice and together. Down and up. Give me 5 more, ladies and gentlemen. 5 more. That's 1. And down. 2. And down. 3. And down. 4. Down. And 5. And down. Taking it down onto the mat. We have shoulder circles. So similar to what we did standing, but this time we are doing it from an all fours position. So you're getting into all fours, strong core, always strong core, stabilizing that back, anchoring that back. And then we're just going to roll through our shoulder blades. So this is kind of a difficult one to get into, but once you do, you'll start to really feel that mobility through the shoulders. So you want to sink it down, roll those shoulders, keeping your arms nice and straight, trying not to bend them. So you're not doing that, but rather you're just creating almost like a shoulder shrug, but from an all fours position. Lovely, just keep flowing through that movement. If you can isolate it onto one shoulder, which I am very bad at doing, then by all means you can do one shoulder and then the other shoulder. Otherwise, we're moving forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely work. And bringing it down. If this is not comfortable for you, you can do this from a standing position. But otherwise, if this is nice and comfortable for you, keeping your arms up, cactus arms, trying to keep a nice alignment through the arm, shoulder to elbow. And you're just going to roll it down and up, roll it down and up. This is kind of a tiring exercise. If at any point it becomes sore, or if you can't do it anymore, especially anybody with shoulder injuries, this exercise might not be one for you, which means you can skip it and go ahead on to the next one. But for those of you that are relatively healthy, then we're rolling and rolling up. This is a nice workout for that rotator cuff, building a little bit of mobility into it. A lot of injuries can happen in the rotator cuff, especially if your form on pull-ups is bad, or you have sustained an injury through sport or anything like that. Give me 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing it up, and we're going to take it down onto the floor. We're going to start with a very similar exercise to the one we did when we were standing, which is taking the towel behind you. So get your hands positioned onto the towel as wide as is comfortable for you. Keeping your nose and forehead on the mat, your core is nice and strong, your pelvis is pressed into the mat, and we're just reaching it up and back, touching your butt. Now this should be a little bit easier than the standing one. Back, because you've already started with your hands overhead. So what I want you to do is to slow it down and really feel each movement through the range of motion in the shoulders. Focusing on form as opposed to how many you can knock out. So you want to do it nice and slow. Feel where it might be getting stuck so that you have something to focus on pushing through. Remember to keep those buttocks nice and clenched, strong core the entire time. We always try and do full body activation when doing Pilates. Our core stabilizes us, our glutes stabilize us, and that helps to keep us nice and still while we're on the mat, so that we can start to isolate muscle groups as opposed to using the whole body in the movement. Down, back. Alrighty, give me 5 more. There's 1. And always focus on your breath. 2, 3, 4. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Slow it down. One more time. Back. Touch your butt. Really slowing this one down. And touching the mat. At this point, you just want to take a quick break. Put your head to the side. Just rest the shoulders for a second if you need to. And then as soon as you're ready to come back, forehead, nose to the mat, taking your towel above you again, pulling it back. Almost like a lat pull down. Remember to keep tension on that towel the entire time. And pulling back into our shoulder blades. Pressing those shoulder blades together as you reach back, scapula dropping down. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Back. So you're going forward, you're pulling it back, retracting that scapula, pulling those shoulder blades together, reaching the towel back, and then forward. What you want to do is when you release the towel forward, don't just let go of your shoulder blades completely and lose form, but try and keep them as contracted as you can all the way through the movement, and always keep tension on that towel, keeping those shoulder blades nice and open, nice and strong. And give me 5 more. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropping it down. Take another moment if you need to. Bringing it up into a seated position. We are down to our final movement, ladies and gentlemen. Final movement. Clasping your hands behind you and lifting it up. And bringing it down, lifting it up. Some key pointers here, keeping your core nice and strong, always, because it will support your lower back. Don't bend it forward, don't arch into your back, but if you can either point or flex your toes. Flexing is slightly better, it just keeps your legs nice and active, which helps you sit upright. Bringing it down and up. You can touch the floor if you want to and come back up, down and up, working through those tight shoulder blades. Down and up. Give me 5 more. That's 1. Oh, the sun's coming out. 2, 3, 4, 5, reaching it back, position it, open up through the chest, open up through the back, And just hold this position. Don't crane your neck. Shoulders away from the ears, opening wide through that chest, pulling the scapula together, pulling those shoulder blades together. And keep breathing, keep smiling, keep breathing. Couple more seconds. And let's slowly start to release it. Bring you forward. Releasing your hands. Lovely, lovely work, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the end of our shoulder mobility workout. Short, sweet, but definitely really gives you an idea of where your shoulder mobility is. Especially when you're taking it behind you, you might start to feel exactly where you're kind of getting stuck, or maybe there's a little bit of a knot or something for you to work towards. So even if you can only get it above your head, or even if you can only get it there, if you keep working at it slowly but surely, you don't want to ever overdo shoulder work because you don't want to end up with an injury. But saying that, I hope that you really enjoyed this class. If you did, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that share button, and tell all your friends about Pilates with B. Until then, please have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you again on Thursday. Bye-bye.